Hey guys, Will here. Today I'm going to be demonstrating the couch stretch from my home, perfectly demonstrating why it's called a couch stretch, because this is all I'm going to need. I've laid out a cushion as well. We're going to want this to kneel on, just to make things a bit more comfortable for our knee. And potentially my glamorous assistant Lemmy here will help me out. We'll see what he gets up to. He might just be here being beautiful. So this is a stretch that's great for your quads and your hip flexors down the front of your thighs. Great for counteracting the tightness that can come about if you spend an awful lot of time sitting down. So let me show you how we're going to set it up. Starting with this cushion right next to the sofa, I want you to place one knee on that cushion and the other leg off out here to about 90 degrees. I'm going to start by leaning forwards, resting our hand on the floor, and then lifting this foot up and resting it on your sofa there. Then just wiggle your foot into position so that you are facing forwards. We want to start by engaging the hip. So squeeze the glute of that raised leg to drive yourself forwards until you feel you're clenching here and you feel a little engagement down the front here. I'm supporting myself on this front leg with my arm, and I'll use that to help me gradually sit upright. All right, see you later, Lemmy. Now, what we should get when we become upright is a nice pull down the front of that thigh there. I want to make sure that I'm not arching my back, but I'm keeping my abs engaged and ribs tucked down, but still squeezed, driving those hips forwards. I want a straight line running from my knee to my shoulder without feeling too much of a stretch. That's when I know I'm in a good place with the flexibility of those quads and hip flexors. Now, initially, we can just work on holding this for upwards of 30 to maybe 60 seconds. Just take your time with deep breaths, get used to relaxing in that position, feeling comfortable. If you can't get all the way up initially, start from here. If that's a stretch already, just spend your time there. It might be that you can't start from here, but it's sort of your end goal. You can work on gradually leaning further backwards to deepen that stretch, bringing your butt closer to your heel, as long as we're still leaning back through the shoulders, keeping the hips driven forwards and maintaining your stretch over here. And then a further progression, once you're accustomed to this, is actually using this front leg to shift yourself in and out of the position in what we'd call a couch stretch pulse. So shifting my weight forwards, lengthening that leg out behind me, and then bringing it back in again. So this one's really doing the pushing, the lowering and raising, but as long as we're keeping this glute engaged, that's helping us allow that hip to open up so that the leg can travel further behind us and we can get more engagement out of that glute. Because quite often I find people very tight hip flexors, they kind of got very sleepy glutes, especially if you spend all your time sitting on them. So if you want to be running, sprinting, you need that hip extension. You want to be able to lengthen that stance off. And this is the position you want to be able to access if you want that maximal forward speed. Okay, and of course, you're going to make sure you swap over, you do the same thing with the other side. And hopefully that helps you out. Let me know how you get on with it, and I'll see you in the next one.